The silent power of evening minutes. Have you ever wondered why some people remain stuck in the same place for years, despite reading hundreds of self-improvement books, while others seem to move along invisible rails directly toward their goals? What is the real difference between empty daydreaming and the actual engineering of one's life? The answer lies in what happens inside your head 20 minutes before you fall into a deep sleep. Most of us waste this golden time quite recklessly. We pick up our smartphones, drowning in the endless stream of other people's lives, or even worse, we begin to replay the day's failures, the unfair comments from colleagues, and anxieties about tomorrow. But it is precisely in this short window, when the day is done but sleep has not yet arrived, that your brain is at its most plastic. This is the time when your subconscious, a giant supercomputer that never sleeps, takes the wheel. If you learn how to properly upload tasks into it before bed, it will turn into your personal navigator. Today, we will break down a technique based on the experience of the world's most outstanding minds. We will call it future sight. We won't just discuss how to dream, we will understand the physiology of this process, from the hormone melatonin to the ideomotor reactions of our bodies, the chemistry of emotion, and the 90-second rule. Before building the future, you must learn to clear the RAM of your mind from the past. You've surely noticed, if someone offends you in the morning, that burning sensation in your chest can haunt you until evening. You feel angry, engage in internal arguments, and rehearse biting comebacks. However, from a neurobiological standpoint, this is absurd. Scientists have proven that every emotion, whether it's anger, fear, or resentment, has a strict physiological cycle. When a trigger occurs, hormones are dumped into the blood. This chemical surge lasts exactly 90 seconds. A minute and a half is all the body needs to process the anger and completely flush it out of your system. So why do we stay angry for hours? Because we feed the fire ourselves. We replay the situation over and over, triggering repeated releases of hormones. Imagine that in your kitchen, because of some burnt toast, the fire alarm goes off. It rings shrilly. What does an ordinary person do? They open a window, air out the room, and the sensor goes silent. But someone who cannot manage their emotions, instead of opening the window, starts to burn more toast. The alarm screams incessantly, and the person complains of a headache. Your first step toward controlling reality is to acknowledge everything you feel for longer than 90 seconds is your conscious choice. Before performing the evening technique, you must air out the kitchen. Take a deep breath and realize that the chemistry of the day is already gone. Only thoughts remain, and you are free to let them go. The legacy of geniuses. What do Nobel laureates teach us? In the 1970s, researchers of human potential asked, what do people who have achieved global results have in common? They studied Nobel laureates, great inventors, and world leaders. It turned out they shared a common thinking strategy. Most of them had gone through serious trials and childhood hardships that tempered their psyche and made it more flexible. No, there was a second, more interesting trait. They possessed a unique ability to pre-live their goal. They didn't just believe in success, they saw it as a finished product, in such detail that the brain began to perceive this future as an inevitable reality. John Grinder, one of the founders of neuro-linguistic programming, formalized this approach. He realized that the human brain is not just a storage unit for memory, it is a prediction machine. If you give the brain a clear final image, it will begin to align all your actions toward it, often without your conscious participation. This is how the methodology we now call future sight was born. 2 modes of imagination. The key to success for your pre-sleep training to bear fruit, you must understand the difference between 2 modes of your mind's operation. This is a critically important point where 90% of people stumble. The first mode is dissociation. This is when you see yourself from the outside as if watching a movie. You see your double, how he walks, how he is dressed, how he smiles. This mode is excellent for planning and evaluation. It allows you to look at your life impartially, but it has a downside. It does not engage your body. The brain understands, this is not happening to me. It's just a picture on a screen. The second mode is association. This is when you fly into your body. You don't see your own head. You see the world through your own eyes. You feel the texture of your clothes on your skin. You smell the scents. You hear the sounds as if they are happening right here and now. Why is association so important? This is where a neurophysiological law comes into play, the ideomotor reaction. It was proven back in the last century, if a person imaginatively represents themselves lifting a dumbbell from an associated state, their muscles receive weak but real electrical impulses. The heart starts beating slightly faster, and blood vessels dilate. The brain sends signals along the same neural pathways it would use in reality. For the brain, there is no difference between an action actually performed and an action you lived through in a state of deep association. If you spend every night living your success through association, your brain will believe that it has already happened. It will begin to restructure your biology and your behavior to fit this accomplished fact. This is the secret behind the training of special forces, professional athletes, and performers. The melatonin window, why the evening decides everything. Why can't we do this during a lunch break or in the morning over a cup of coffee? We can, but the effect will be many times weaker. At approximately 9:30 p.m., melatonin begins to be produced in our bodies. We are used to calling it the sleep hormone, but its functions are much broader. Melatonin is the conductor of our internal laboratory. It halts the active work of the intestines, slows the heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and, most importantly, changes the operating mode of our consciousness. Before sleep, we enter what is called a hypnagogic state. This is the border zone between wakefulness and sleep. At this moment, the critical filter of our consciousness, the one that usually says, "This is impossible, this is stupid, you don't have the money," falls asleep. Our subconscious becomes open to any suggestions. Melatonin makes internal images vivid, almost hallucinogenic. If you begin to perform the technique at this time, the images of the future will imprint themselves into your neural network much deeper than during the day. You are literally programming your biocomputer to perform the task while the main interface, your consciousness, is switched off. A practical guide, step by step. Now, let's move to the methodology itself. Imagine, you are already lying in bed. The lights are off. Your phone is put far away. You have taken several deep breaths, letting go of the events of the past day. Step 1. Projecting the future. Mentally transport yourself 5 years ahead. You are in the world you created yourself. Your dreams have been realized. First, look at this scene from the outside as a spectator. What does this person look like? How do they move? What is their voice like? What kind of environment surrounds them? This is your blueprint. Look at it like a director looking at the final scene of a movie. Does everything satisfy you? If not, adjust the details. Step 2. The emotional test drive. Now take a deep breath and, as you exhale, step into the body of that successful person. Look at the world through their eyes. Feel your hands on the steering wheel of your dream car, or feel the pen in your hand as you sign an important contract. Feel the comfort. How do you feel in this future? Is there enough air? Do you like the pace of your life? This is a critical moment, a check for the truth of the goal. If you feel a clenching or anxiety in this body, it means the goal was imposed from the outside. If you feel deep peace and quiet joy, you are on the right path. Step 3. Looking from the future into the past. This is the most powerful part of the technique. Remaining in the body of your future self, turn around and look back at the person lying in bed right now in 2026. We all possess hindsight. We are all masters of saying, "If only I had done this 5 years ago." This technique allows you to use that resource now. From the point of your triumph, look at your current self and ask, what exactly did I do back then? 5 years ago to end up here? What 3 simple steps did I take? What did I give up? What fear did I step over? Your subconscious will provide the answer. You will see the path not as a vague dream, but as a completed history. You are like a climber who has already reached the summit by helicopter, studied every ledge, and is now ready to walk the path on foot, knowing every dangerous turn. What happens while you sleep? Once you finish the exercise and drift into sleep, the most interesting part begins. Your brain does not shut down. It enters a mode of memory consolidation and data processing. All night long, your subconscious will chew on the image you gave it. It will begin to take inventory of your resources. The brain will search your memory for the necessary knowledge, skills, and contacts to help realize the scenario you envisioned. But the most amazing part begins in the morning. Our brain has a structure called the reticular activating system, RAS. This is a filter that decides what information from the external world to let into your consciousness and what to ignore. Usually, it only lets in what is vital for survival or what we are obsessed with. After the evening technique, your RAS will receive a new priority list. Upon waking, you will suddenly begin to notice opportunities where you previously saw walls. You will hear a necessary phrase in a random conversation. Your eyes will fall upon exactly the book or the advertisement you need. You will begin to attract people into your life who resonate with your goal. You won't have to agonizingly think, but how will I achieve this? Your body itself will start moving in the right direction. You will simply know whom to call and what to say. This isn't magic, it is the work of a perfectly tuned biological mechanism. A warning and discipline. Does this work the first time? Yes and no. You might feel inspired the very next morning, but restructuring deep neural connections requires consistency. Imagine that your subconscious is like a neglected garden. Planting a flower once is good, but for the garden to bloom, you must weed out the old habits and water the new ideas regularly. Perform this technique at least 3 to 4 times a week. Do not turn it into a heavy chore. Let it be your pleasant evening ritual, a gift to yourself. And remember the trap of empty daydreaming. A dreamer just watches the movie. A practitioner lives the state and is ready to act. The brain will give you the energy and show you the way, but you must move your legs along that path. However, you will no longer do it like a blind kitten, but like a person who knows for certain that victory is inevitable. Conclusion. Your new reality. We live in a world where thousands of corporations fight for our attention. The evening is the last frontier of your freedom. Do not give it to social networks. Do not give it to anxieties about a past that can no longer be changed. Take these 20 minutes for yourself. Use them to engineer the life you actually want to wake up in. Remember the 90-second rule so you don't drag the day's trash into your bed. Use the power of melatonin to make your images vivid. And most importantly, always look at your current life from your successful future. When you realize that you are not just a passenger in your head, but the operator of this incredibly powerful biological computer, your life will change forever. You will stop depending on circumstances and start creating those circumstances yourself. Try doing this tonight. Don't build complex plans. Just see yourself 5 years from now. Feel that joy and look at your current self with love and support. Your ideal future already exists as a neural circuit. Give it a chance to become your reality. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If this information was useful to you, subscribe to the channel and share your results in the comments. Good night, and may your dreams become the foundation of your success.